Patients usually don't come early to us because at creatinine of 1.6, symptoms are not because of renal disease per se. Usually they are because of dyspnea, and there may be coexisting cardiac and renal pathology. So cardiac function should always be assessed in a renal patient. And in case the diagnosis is not clear, we don't hesitate to go ahead with biopsy, even if we fear that the moment we tell a patient that you need kidney biopsy, it is important to make the diagnosis. It is a costly procedure and it may have its risk. Even then, we never start treatment without doing a biopsy. This is the teaching that I got. The reason being that now we understand there is a wide variety of glomerular diseases, each with a separate prognosis and different treatment. Unlike my previous generation, like Dr. Mittal, when there was nothing else apart from steroids. So with or without biopsy, the treatment was steroids. So that was like that fashion. I hope you agree, sir. But now we have so many other drugs like tacrolimus, MMF, because now we can choose which one is better and where not to add steroids. There are conditions where we know that the steroids are not going to act. Better to avoid the risk of steroids to the patient. Now these small cases, these are actual cases in my hospital that I had seen. They are just brief. So many questions can arise, but just to complete the program on time, so I will be just briefly mentioning. So that was the first year of my work over there. A 17-year-old female referred by physician in view of 3+ protein in the urine. She was a known case of SLE. She had arthritis, anemia and thrombocytopenia, for which she was on steroids. When I saw the patient, she was hypertensive. Ultrasound revealed normal size kidneys, urine revealed proteinuria, 20 to 25 pus cells and RBCs, microscopic hematuria, culture was sterile. So this we called as the active urinary sediment, and for us it is an alarm. We should biopsy this case. So the possibilities once there are RBCs will be class 3 or class 4, but the guidelines say biopsy because biopsy will give you that how much chronic changes have already occurred, and it can always help us to, when we are doing repeat biopsy, to compare the things. So at that time her serum creatinine was 1.6. The biopsy revealed class 4 lupus active, no inflammatory changes, and she was treated with steroids and endoxin, followed by azathioprine. MMF was not used because of affordability issues. She is followed up with me for last 3 years. Today her creatinine is 0.7, HB is 12 and 24, her urine protein is just 110 milligram, and she takes 5 milligram of Envus and she is absolutely normal. Her steroid dose is only 5 milligram. So here the outcome is happy. The reason I have written so far is because now she is 20 years of age, marriageable age. Many girls will stop taking the drugs out of the fear that in-laws will come to know, and then pregnancy may be an issue. So far it is happy, future we don't know. Case 2. A 20-year-old male, enthusiastic gym training, presented with tiredness, pain abdomen, GI upset after some party, occasional intake of NSAIDs. He had normal blood pressure. Routine investigations revealed hemoglobin of 16, creatinine of 1.6. Urine routine normal. Ultrasound revealed raised ecotexture. This question has been asked many times to me. Doctor साहब ये जो ultrasound में लिखा होता है इसका मतलब क्या है? मतलब is just difference between grey and white. It may be suggestive or it may not be. So we have to correlate it with the blood pressure, with other symptoms, with urinary sediment, with creatinine and history of the patient. Sometimes I pass it off as kuch nahi hai, don't worry, everything is okay. It is just a little, it's like subjective also. So this patient was counseled for adequate hydration, avoid excessive protein supplements and excessive exercises, and followed up after 2 weeks. He was happy, creatinine is 0.9. So the outcome is happy. Another question that can be asked at this stage is, if 20 people are attending the same routine, consuming same protein supplements, getting same level of exercise, why only one person developed this and other people did not develop? The answer could be the capacity of our renal reserve and our own genetic variations. So still he was counseled that since once he had this episode of rising creatinine, he should have a healthy lifestyle and regular monitoring of blood pressure and at least once annually measurement of his renal functions. Case 3 is a 48-year-old businessman from Jammu. He is obese with a BMI of 42, 12-year diabetic, status well controlled because he is very meticulous about everything, hypertensive for last 8 years. regular follow-up with primary physician, who is really doing a very good job because he is keeping all the parameters in control. He was having serum of creatinine of 1.5 for last few years, say 1 or 2, but now the creatinine has increased to 1.8. He was worried and he came to me. I tried to search for reversible factors. Only thing I could found that he had taken NSAIDs for dental pain. That time, because maybe dentist did not ask or he did not tell to dentist that my creatinine is 1.5. Dentist usually ask about diabetes and hypertension, and CKD patient has to mention I have a kidney problem, please avoid these drugs in me. So after on follow-up, the creatinine came down to 1.6. Now what to do next? In this thing, we have to educate about the nature of the disease, that the progression may be inevitable, but you have to control the factors. He was controlling this very well, he was controlling this very well, but he was not doing anything about this because he did not consider this as a disease, which I say because obesity is known to cause FSGS and other renal dysfunctions. Obesity may lead to OSA, OSA may lead to pulmonary arterial hypertension, that may lead to cor pulmonale, that may lead to cardiorenal, again getting back to kidney. So many patients we have seen, those who are obese presenting with edema with some rise in creatinine. Patient comes to nephrologist, nephrologist say बाकी तो सब कुछ ठीक है, edema क्यों जा रहा है? Because of uncorrected OSA component. And once these patients are started on CPAP, after the sleep study we get good results. We can actually cut down on the dose of diuretics. So what about outcome in this patient? Am I happy? No, I am concerned. Because with these risk factors, he is at very high risk of cardiovascular mortality, especially if he also has a family history. So actually this patient may never reach end-stage renal disease because he may succumb to cardiovascular factors before. So patient का मन रखने के लिए बोल सकते हैं आप चिंता मत करो. Well, because people are scared of dialysis, but they are not scared of cardiac death. Cardiac death कब किसकी होगी वो भी पता नहीं है. So at least at this time when the patient is under stress, I have to treat his stress and slowly by slowly tell him that the more we can maintain your creatinine at this level is good. But again disclaimer कि मेरे पास creatinine की कोई दवाई नहीं है. अगर आपको फिर भी कोई दवाई चाहिए तो better आप कहीं और से जाके आ जाओ. Now case number 4, 84-year-old male, no previous known comorbidities, presented with vague symptoms, decreased appetite for 15 days, fever off and on, cough with expectoration, poor oral intake, lethargic, BP was 130/60, which looks like normal, which may not be normal because since he was not having any problem before, his actual blood pressure may not have been checked. Elderly people may have a BP of 160/90, which may be normal for them. So this BP which may look normal to a medical officer who will call me and say, Madam BP normal है. I still ask them, मुझे बोल के बताओ कितना है. For him it may be normal, but for this patient it may still be hypotensive. So clinically he appears dehydrated. On evaluation his creatinine was 3, blood urea 186, hemoglobin 14 again because of hemoconcentration. His urinary sediment was almost bland except specific gravity was high. Ultrasound revealed raised ecotexture of both the kidneys. He was managed with IV fluids and antibiotics for suspected LRTI, improved clinically in 3 days, discharged, and 2 weeks follow-up his creatinine has come down to 1.6. Outcome happy. So why I am happy in this patient? Because of his age. For his age itself is a risk factor for chronic kidney disease. After 30 years of age, our renal functions decline by 10 ml per 10 ml per decade. So for an 70-year-old male, his normal kidney functions may be 50% of what the kidney functions are at 30 years of age. So he has already lived his life. So what more we want from him? We just want that he should have a comfortable life. We should not poke him with so many tests. Counsel the family कि बापूजी दे बहुता जोर ना लाओ, जो खांदे या खाण दियो, लंबे चौड़े चक्करां च ना पईयो, जितनी लाइफ है मजे में निकले. Because sometimes family educated children become very strict. बापूजी ਨੂੰ ਆ नहीं देना, बापूजी ਨੂੰ ਉਹ नहीं देना हैगा, and बापूजी starts fighting with the family, and the moment they come to see the nephrologist, they complain, डॉक्टर साहब इन्होंने मेरा सारा कुछ बंद करता है. So you have to find the middle way where the family is also satisfied that we are taking care of the patient, and patient also gets to eat what other people are eating in the family. The only formula that you have to tell them is take in moderation. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके सारा कुछ खाओ. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਜਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਖਾਓ. With that disclaimer. Now case 5. He is a 48-year-old diabetic, poor glycemic control, reluctant to start insulin because he is not educated from a village background, but ultimately he had to. When I told कि जब तक आप sugar control नहीं करोगे किडनी का कुछ नहीं हो सकता. So his hypertension was also poorly controlled. Reason being hypertension का कोई symptom नहीं है and he doesn't feel like taking medicines. So he used to take frequent NSAIDs for headache off and on, and it was referred by my endocrinologist in view of worsening edema despite diuretics, and that time creatinine was 1.6. So after 4 months I tried a lot. पेशेंट को समझाया, पेशेंट की वाइफ को समझाया, वाइफ उसके पीछे पड़ गई, एक एक चीज कंट्रोल करने लगी, बट स्टिल द creatinine increased to 3.5. I got worried that अगर कहीं और से आता तो मैं ब्लेम करती कि किसी ने कोई ट्रीटेबल कॉज मिस कर दिया, मेरे पास पेशेंट लेट आया, वेयर ही हैज रीच्ड अ पॉइंट ऑफ नो रिटर्न. बट दिस राइज ऑफ क्रेटिनिन फ्रॉम 1.6 to 3.5, we call it as a rapid progression of renal injury in a diabetic patient. So we don't want to miss any treatable cause, and when no acute cause is obvious from the history, we suggest biopsy. And biopsy was done luckily because जैसे biopsy का नाम लो 50%, more than 50% of the patient will run away. So it's revealed the same thing. So I had both a good news and a bad news to tell the family. Good news ये कि कोई और बीमारी नहीं है. There is no superadded non-diabetic kidney disease. It is only kidney disease. Bad news is कि अब इसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. जो नुकसान हो गया वो हो चुका है. But unfortunately, he progressed to end-stage renal disease in another 6 months. But this patient became dialysis dependent within 1 month of my own seeing, in front of my eyes. This patient got transplant done at another center. Now lost to my follow-up outcomes, I don't know in this case, but this is like not happy at least. अगर इतनी story भी देखी. So this slide just summarizes what Dr. Sanjay Mittal has said in the beginning, that same serum creatinine may mean very different GFR for different people. This is a 22-year-old black male. His calculated GFR will be 98. We may call it as stage 1 if there are other risk factors. For example, he is polycystic kidney disease. So he will be still classified as CKD1. Or he is having proteinuria. चाहे आज creatinine normal भी है, proteinuria per se puts you at a risk of CKD. Now why we are afraid of CKD? Because we don't want to reach that stage of dialysis requirement. This 58-year-old white man, his GFR is coming to around 66. So if we will call him stage 2, this is 80-year-old white woman, his GFR comes at 46. So I will suggest that for each creatinine that you see, calculate GFR which is available in your hands, in your Android apps. Again a word of caution here. All these data that we are using is from the West, and Western people are more muscular. We are less muscular, and for us, same creatinine may mean even a lower GFR. So just take home message, serum creatinine 1.6, what to do next? First of all, remember this chart always. We have to understand that serum creatinine is a late marker. अगर बढ़ना शुरू हो गया है तो 50% किडनी का नुकसान already हो चुका है. Repeat serum creatinine. Sometimes it may just be a false report. And if the lab is standardized, you can get it done from the same lab. If you doubt the authenticity of the lab, get it done from the reliable lab. Make the patient aware. At least tell that आपका creatinine ज़्यादा नहीं उसको परेशान करना चाहते तो इतना बोल दो 1.6 है. फिर वो पेशेंट की मर्जी है, आपसे पूछेगा आगे क्या करना है, कहाँ जाना है. We don't have to panic in front of them. We have to control their panic also, and sometimes the panic of the family members also. Evaluate and confirm the cause. Unless you are sure what is causing this creatinine of 1.6, don't leave the patient. Don't assume it as a CKD. It may not be a CKD. It can be a glomerulonephritis. It can be acute kidney injury. Please search for primary or secondary causes. Secondary may be like multiple myeloma, autoimmune diseases. Primary may be something going wrong within the kidney itself. Identify and address the reversible causes, education the patient regarding healthy lifestyle, assess prognosis. We do this by age, comorbidities, presence or absence of diabetes, cardiac comorbidities, blood pressure and proteinuria. So if somebody asks me what is one single intervention to retard the progression of chronic kidney disease, it is a control of blood pressure. Medicines like Nefrosave, keto analogs, pre-probiotics, they are more used by rather non-nephrologists. As a nephrologist, we have seen कि जिसको शुरू करो उसका भी वही होना है, नहीं शुरू करो उसका भी वही होना है. So I give choice to my patient. If in case they are very much eager to take medicine, I tell them these are the medicines available in the med, or sometimes they get it out from their pocket. Doctor साहब दवाई देती सी, now I cannot say कि पहले वाले डॉक्टर ने गलत देती है. So I tell them जी 50-50 चांस है, आप पे डिपेंड करता है. If you can afford to take it lifelong and if you can afford to take these number of pills, you may go ahead. They are supposed not to be very toxic, so you may continue to take. And timely referral to the nephrologist. Once the creatinine is more than 3 to 3.5 for more than 3 months, then it is CKD, irrespective of the cause, and chances of reversal are very low. So why this picture? This is a cup in which there is very less amount of coffee. This whole cup represents the physicians and this small amount represents the nephrologist. We as a nephrologist are very few, and if we have to manage CKD patients, we can't do it alone. So we can work as a team. In case diagnosis is not clear, you can refer. Once the things are clear, again the patient can be referred back till again he reaches advanced CKD. When the GFR is less than 30, other metabolic complications of CKD will start, and then the patient will be referred back to the nephrologist. And this is basic things: how to care for your kidneys, control of blood pressure, manage your diabetes, family histories there or not, stop smoking is very important, limit amount of alcohol, eat healthy, aim for a healthy weight and be active, and take only prescribed medications. So thank you so much, and my acknowledgements for Dr. H.S. Dhingra for suggesting this topic, Dr. Alok Lalwani for coordinating the arrangements here, Major Pramod Mahinder, who is my husband, who also motivated me and again contributed to managing this event. This is Shobha Mehra from Microlabs. Almost everyone in the hall knows her. She always helps me, even if I call her at the last moment. And my teachers at IPGMER Kolkata for instilling the love of nephrology in me. Thank you so much.